they're playing something on like mostly a PC. Sometimes a console too. Like there'll be some really intense console players, but it's literally like consoles in America is kind of dying. Like the Nintendo Switch is doing like really well, but other than that, it's been sort of a shift between like, well, you're either just like really playing casual mobile games or you're like playing really intense PC games. And if you can afford a PC, then you're just doing that on the console. But PC stuff is becoming way more affordable here. In general. But yeah, which, I mean, will it always be that way? I don't think so. Like, I think the more accepted things become, then you can have these more like markets of people wanting a higher skill cap on games. And I think you see that in, outside America, you see that in the other regions where they want really intensive, like high skill cap games on their phone because they don't have consoles or computers, or they just want to be able to take it anywhere. Like for me, being able to play a MOBA that I could take anywhere that was like simple enough that I could just like make my mom or dad play, like that was awesome. And then obviously it had a high enough skill cap that you can have a pro scene. And I'd love to see more of that type of game here as well. Like, and I'd love to see that more grow. But yeah, at this point in time, it's definitely a lot of casual. It's more casual, is what I've seen.
But normally, where are people going to play these games?
Things like
places.
They'll normally here. Most people play them from their homes.
Oh.
So like we don't have like I know in other countries they have like PC. Like places that you go to like play PC games and things like that, or cafes. They have like PC cafes and stuff. We don't really have anything that's popular like that here. So for most people, it's in the comfort of their homes, and that's why things like the console or PC will be, pretty popular. But the only other times where people will go places is for pro. So like for pro scene, people will obviously go to events to either play or watch. But for the most part, it's going to be within the comfort of their home here.
But how about the mobile?
So the cool thing about mobile is that you can take it anywhere, but it's still like there's nowhere that I know for me personally, I don't go anywhere to play my phone game, right? Like if anything, I'll get somewhere comfy. So like the cool thing about a phone game is I can play it on a couch, right? Like I can play it in my bed, and I don't have to. It's kind of cool that I don't have to go anywhere, but then it also has the convenience of, if I do go somewhere, I just have it. Like I will always have my phone. I won't always have my computer. I won't always have my consoles. I will always have my phone. And that is like, I guess that's probably why I'm so attracted to mobile games in general, just because of convenience, right? Like if the convenience of playing normal games in my house is enough that I don't go anywhere to play them but my house, then the convenience of having my phone and being able to play them anywhere is even better than that, right? Like.
Okay, interesting. But since you said that you have played Honor of King once in Korea.
Yeah, I played it in Korea.
So how did you think so?
How did I think of the game?
Yeah.
It was cool. It was very familiar because I had played Arena of Valor, but it has like it's a completely different kind of like art style. I guess I would say more vibrant. So it was more of like where Valor looks more like kind of a traditional MOBA here that we have, something like a League or a Dota. Honor of Kings is very much more like eye candy. It's very much more vibrant. As far as gameplay goes, the thing that I noticed right off the bat is that the targeting system is way better. And I don't know why that is. I can't really explain that to you too much, but there's a lot of like really weird situations in Valor that feel they feel off. They feel off. So like you would be by Darkslayer and Bird, and you would go to target Bird and you'd have your settings set to lowest health and it would target Darkslayer even though you're right next to Bird. Like things like that are really weird, and obviously like the targeting moving your character is really jolting for some people at first. And for me it was especially coming from other games where when you auto attack, if you're not in range, nothing happens, but if you auto attack in something like AoV and you're not in range, it moves you. And so in that sort of attack system kind of always bothered me in Valor, but it didn't bother me in Honor of Kings. I don't know like if it was just because the game was so far along and they had fixed all these cases, but it felt more cohesive. So the controls, even though they're like the exact same controls, they don't feel they don't feel off. Valor definitely has this weird feeling where sometimes things happen where you're like, this doesn't make sense because of my settings make it so that what just happened shouldn't happen. Like attacking, it should always be like the lowest minion that's in my range, or if I'm, like things like that. Whereas Honor of Kings just felt like they had worked that out. And so other than that, obviously the heroes are like slightly different. A lot of them are the same, but some of them are like reworked and changed and balancing and stuff. But I would say for me playing there, that was the biggest difference, was that the targeting system was just better. At that point in time, at least.
Have you ever seen or watched the match of KPL or KCC?
No, I haven't got to see the pro level gameplay of it. That's definitely something that I want to do a lot, especially because in NA, a lot of the inspiration for our metas come from the other regions, because we're seeing like, okay, well, they had the game for a long time, they know what they're doing, what are they doing, and how can we replicate or change that? But it hasn't been something like, I personally, because I've been streaming so much and trying to just get out a bunch of information, I haven't got to watch the last few pro stuff, which is unfortunate, but.
What's your impression on Dave?
What's my impression of Dave? Yo, I love Dave. Dave is a good friend of mine. Dave is awesome because Dave, he just always says what's on his mind. He has no filter. And to me, that is really easy to get along with, and I really respect that, because I don't have to worry about anything. Like anything Dave says, he means, which is awesome. And because of that, he'll get into a bunch of awkward situations, and he'll do a bunch of like funny stuff here because, like cultural differences and things like that. But I always know, like, if Dave says something, he means it, and so like it's really easy. It's really easy to communicate with him, and like me and Dave always got along really well. We never had any issues or anything like that, just because he's just so straightforward, and I don't have to figure out what he's really trying to say or anything like that. Yeah, Dave's a lot of fun to be around. He's a goofball.
An interesting story
between me and Dave.
Tell them about the girls in Korea.
Yeah. Dave, I can't tell him about that. Your girlfriend's here.
No, your girls.
So Dave's really funny because he always tries to set people up and get people to like go talk to other people. And so Dave's really nice to me, and he always tells me I'm super attractive and like, oh, you should go hit on these girls, or you should go hit on those girls, or blah 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 blah. That's just Dave. And when we were in Korea, I don't know how much I want to out myself here. When we were in Korea, Dave was like, oh yeah, Bag, you can, he was joking about, oh, you can get all like the Korean girls or whatever, you're cute, just like go pretend you're K-pop or whatever, and go talk to them. And I was like, I was telling Dave like, oh yeah, please, I have experience with this, I could get a girl if I want. And he was like, well, do it, get a girl, do it. If you can get a girl, do it. And so I said, okay, fine. If I bring a girl back to the place, then you have to leave. Like, you have to leave. Then that's the code. If you tell me, if I come back and I say, Dave, you have to leave, you know the code. And I don't think he believed me. And so he was like, okay, sure. And so when I was in Korea, I just started talking to all the girls, and everyone there was super nice and really friendly. And the mobile game, so in America, right, looked down upon, frowned upon. In Korea, they all know what Pentastorm is over there. Everyone over there plays. So when I go over there and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a pro player for Pentastorm, they're like, oh wow, you play games for a living? Like, they're all super into it, and you're like instantly cool. Whereas like, here you're like, oh, I play a phone game. Everyone's like, cool, dude. And like, but over there, you're like instantly popular, right? So I brought a girl back to the place, and I was like, Dave, you need to leave. And he was like, he had like just woken up from like a nap or something, and he was like, it was like our one day off, and he was like, sure, listen, he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you said bring a girl back to the place. If I bring a girl back to the place, you have to leave, Dave, you have to leave. And he didn't believe me, and he left, and I brought a girl back to the place.
All right.
Yeah. But